You know, you can taste new love in a song. You can taste it or no, mara eyona. This was not written in the studio.
Oh, shit.
Ikahana.
Ikadi back room.
Kadi back room. The morning after.
The morning, cheeky.
Before Shapalemeno.
Oh boy.
So up. Why it's got Ay!
Now I'm bona.
Yeah, bona. Utswaka di futsi ngwanyana.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah?
Oh wow.
Maleh.
Yes, sir.
The excitement I have right now.
I'm holding myself back.
I'm trying to be professional. Because obviously, as a fan, there was a growing voice.
Yes, sir.
So many people. Where's Maleh? Where's Maleh?
Oh yeah, I felt.
And then the more you hear it, now you start worrying.
Yes.
You're like, Chaban.
It's
company or maybe I'm holding on to hope.
Right.
Right?
For sure.
Now, what made it worse? A month or so back, Zonke was seated where you're sitting.
Oh wow.
And she says, "Where's Maleh?"
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, no!"
Wow, I'm so
like,
humbled.
And then I started shake. You know, you have that shake
Yeah.
that you have as a fan. Are these people sensing something I'm not sensing? You know, are they asking where are you based on worry?
Yeah, no, I think at some point it got to a place where I was worried myself. I think I felt and I heard and I saw on social pages people were asking when is the next drop. I was busy promising every month.
Yeah. Yes.
Like for the whole of last year, I think I promised this album release every month with really good intentions, really believing that we would be done, and yet indeed we were not. And I felt the love, I really did, and it inspired me to continue making sure that we make sure to wrap it up.
This is after 5 years, Maleh.
Yes, 2017 I think was the last time, first of all, I could say I was in Johannesburg,
Yes.
and also just pushing anything music related as an artist.
Yes.
A lot happened on a personal front.
Yes.
Walls came crashing down.
Yes.
You know,
As
life
they
was
would.
dramatic.
as life would have it, eh?
Yeah, and those are the things you don't plan. And I think it was really just the beginning and the start of this particular album. I needed to pick myself up again. And it takes time. It really does. And I think you can hear it in the music, the whole 17 tracks of it.
7 guys, 17. I remember ranting and saying, but how can someone release so much music? And the biggest for me, if I'm not mistaken, was Black Motion with 30 songs.
Yeah, okay, no.
In one album. No, but
Yeah,
still.
Msaki's done a full double disc.
There you go.
She's
And I'm like,
incredible.
Whoa, that's a lot of music. And we've been asking where is she, and then she comes up with a 17-track album.
I think I've had a lot to say, obviously, evidently, and I've had a lot to share regarding where I've been, and it comes through in some of the songs as well. I could say it's been a lovely... Hey.
Before we get into the music,
Okay.
this is more about catching up. And I'll see you collaborating. Oko Black Motion.
Yes.
Onale mama.
Keep busy.
I'm like, why are you collaborating? Stop it. We want an album.
Give us something.
Because at the same time, I'm just hoping that she's not going to end up just being a session artist. Please.
Right, for sure.
There's so much more to Maleh.
Yeah, I mean, I needed to find my voice again, in the sense that being quiet for so long, you start to wonder, an artist, do people even really care that I'm gone? What is the next, story around the music that I want to release? What kind of sound? I think that's another thing that took me time, because a lot has changed in terms of what is relevant sound-wise. And I really wanted to come back with something that sounded fresh. And I was very blessed to have been able also to meet up with an amazing producer.
Okay.
Nigerian born. He's based here in Johannesburg. Goes by the name Goldsmith. Goldsmith on the beat.
Oh, yes.
On Instagram.
Okay.
A shout out to Goldsmith. And it was really such an incredible unfolding of me just being like comfortable with myself and not really trying to sound like anything that's current, but at the same time trying to just rediscover myself in what's relevant maybe musically. So it was a lovely experience these last couple of years, just kind of getting into the studio and figuring that out.
Having watched, and I'm still watching it, I think I'm on episode 2 now of the Janet Jackson documentary.
Yes. Oh, wow. Okay.
You watched it?
I have watched bits of the trailer of it, so I haven't actually watched the docu. Yeah.
Because I think there's a parallel with your story.
Mm-hmm.
Control, the album, this is when she was basically saying, Daddy, I don't want you to manage me anymore.
Yes, yeah.
I just want to risk it all by myself.
Absolutely.
And that's you.
Yeah.
And you meeting Goldsmith is her meeting Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Right.
And she's in the studio.
Yeah.
And for the first time she hears the words, what do you want to sound like?
Yes.
What is it that you want to put out? And that for her was liberating.
Yeah.
And you get to understand. That's why I love documentaries, because they give you the behind the scenes.
Right.
And you get to respect that more. And I think for me it adds to the respect I have for you and your peers, because it's such a vulnerable,
it really is. It really
naked experience, because you're really putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
And chances are it may not land the way you anticipated it to land. And you're already naked.
Exactly. It really does feel like that,
Yes.
because with my first 2 albums, I worked with a very experienced producer, very experienced jazz musician.
Yes.
Who also, in such a way, as much as we collaborated, because he was the producer, he dominated quite a bit of, running that process.
Yeah.
And I was also very young, and I followed suit, and
Sure.
and I was guided, and I'm very appreciative that I had somebody like that.
Yes.
Take control of that creative process at the time.
Yeah.
It created beautiful music that still, that has really stood the test of time.
It really is.
But then I guess you get to an age and a place in your career where you must have a full understanding of who you are.
Oh, yeah.
And be able to put that out there without having any fear. And I think one of the things for me was I did feel, because it had been a while since the past album, You Make My Heart Go.
Yes.
The pressure to live up to some of those songs. I felt pressure, and it's such
What feels so good?
What feels so good?
What? Ooh.
Yeah, and I remember there was a point where when I first got into the studio, I was like, you know what? I'm going to name the album I Sing What I Like. And I was very defiant in my spirit. I was like, I'm going to sing whatever I like,
Yeah.
And I think that's the approach that I took with this album as well. I really went into all the spaces that I perhaps previously was not necessarily allowed to, because someone else might have felt that, this is not going to work, or this is not what will sell in South Africa. I really, really, I've discovered other sides of me. And then I also learned that it's in the uniqueness of my tone and my voice. That's where really Maleh lies. And
that's why we are still card-carrying members of Maleh.
Yeah, and so in discovering that, then I was free. Then I was like, let's just make music and enjoy ourselves. And it's been a labor of love, honestly.
But I see you're leaning more towards Nguni.
Okay.
Sogalam.
You know what? Can I tell you? No, not necessarily. In fact, there are less songs Zulu in this album than in previous albums, for your information, actually. And I've actually explored more Sesotho songs, and hence this album title also being a title ya Sesotho ehlile ke batla ho leboha ba haeso hore ebe tsatsing lena ke fana ka lerato la ka.
Yeah.
Ya ntate. So ke kopa ho correcta mo no re so e hole.
On the cover of the album Lerato Laka, it's a picture on her wedding day, so check it out.
It's such a beautiful picture though, isn't it? They look lovely, don't they?
Both they give man.
Ke baswadi ba ka ke mami le papa hle. I really wanted to honor them. You know, they're my number one. Yeah, they're my number one fans.
Do you still have them around, by the way?
Yes, they are. 41 years in marriage.
What?
They are, yeah. they are really an inspiration behind also some of the love songs in this album, particularly Sogalam, because Sogalam yahlalosa re siphuma kude Gabi. Sithandwa sam.
Yay, man. Survive COVID, man.
Do you understand what I mean? And they both at some point had COVID as well, and they've survived, the most. So absolutely, I had to honor them with this cover.
Ukupatsela.
Ke kopatsela ntate hle. Ke kopatsela 2017 I ke re go jetsetse hore ho ne ho le thata haholo.
Yes.
And I think that's really where the beginning of my spiritual walk started, and me really finding myself in Christ Jesus.
Okay.
Such an important discovery of self, and I haven't left that out of this new chapter of who I am as an artist and the music. And I start off the album with a title track airing Ke kopatsela horara.
Ke kopatsela. This is Maleh, and is a listening session of Lerato Laka, the album. And we started the show with Sogalam. I think it's a big song that. Definitely going to anchor, Kaya's going to anchor the album on that song.
Yay.
And then we'll build from there. And you know how we work.
Yeah.
We find a song and we stick to it.
I've always appreciated your support so very much. I feel like just the brand Maleh was very much based off of the support that I received from Kaya.
No, listen.
Listen. And many other artists that started off here.
Listen, I mean, there's nothing like as a station, you have an artist like Maleh and so many others, and you're like, yo, this is fresh.
Yeah.
And we believe in it and we push it.
Yes, sir.
And then while we push it, you realize now other stations are following suit. Then we've done our job.
Absolutely.
Because then we kind of said to them, listen, there's more to this music, okay?
No, very
than what you currently know. So be brave. Be brave. So that's the one thing we brave ourselves. In fact, we pride ourselves in.
Absolutely.
To be brave enough to put our brand and muscle behind an artist such as yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
And not only just go for what is normal.
Right.
I mean, right now, we have basically recycled back to Falling, the original.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Because obviously the ear is tired of the house beat.
Right.
So bring back because the song is not tired.
That was absolutely beautifully played by Nduduzo Makatini as well.
What?
By the way, he's the one on the piano and blessing just that.
I didn't even know. We didn't even know. Now I have something to say every time I play that.
Yes.
Do you know that's Nduduzo Makatini?
Absolutely.
Blue Note recording artist playing the piano on that song. What?
Yeah, he was just so kind and just came through on that.
Talking about that, I saw there are no features on your album.
Only one feature, an artist by the name of Small Money. And I think it's because we are opening up for space for remixes as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan.
DJ Frankie, you just tweeted me. Did you see that? Did you hear that?
We're looking...
She's opened up for... She says you must check your WhatsApp, by the way.
Oh,
he says to check your WhatsApp because definitely he wants to touch one or two of your songs.
Absolutely. I think that's the next phase of really, as we unfold the album, getting into collaboration with other artists. Yeah.
Now, I know there's a process, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you have to go through. You write, the producer starts putting the beats down.
Yeah.
17 songs. I have a feeling there was more.
There was. We cut out a few. A few didn't quite make it. Yeah. Otherwise, we would have released next year. So, yeah. Tabeya 17 ihlile. What's about getting what I mamela half year umamele the first 8
10.
Yeah. And then give it another 8 for the second half of the year. No pressure, no rush.
You're generous. You're generous.
Oh boy.
Maleh is my guest. We're going through Lerato Laka, the album. Nelly said EP because we are in the era of EPs.
Of EPs and singles. Yeah.
No, the album. And we're going through some of the main songs there. So stick around because she's going to be giving you stories behind the story.
Dumalang, Kinna Maleh, and you are listening to my Top 10 at 10. On the street, on the air. Kaya 959.
Oh, yes. It is 29 minutes to 11. Sebe Spring is also on my timeline. Hello, Sebe. And I'm crying tears of joy. I literally found out last night that Maleh released a new album. She uprooted my spirit from a very dark place.
Oh wow.
She's struggling to release the new single.
Who's that?
Sebe.
Oh, okay.
Sebe Spring.
Oh, okay.
She has there's one of the songs that we play a lot of.
Oh, beautiful.
And I know that's something she confessed to me, to say she is struggling because she's not yet ready to be that vulnerable.
She must let it go. Can I tell you, one of the most amazing experiences of this past weekend was just the feeling of having let go.
Yeah.
Because this is a gift that you are used to release, and allow yourself to be used.
Yes.
Allow yourself to be used.
Because that message won't get out.
Yeah, and really trust that the message doesn't really belong to you. It's for the people who are out to hear it. So, I mean, what she's saying about feeling like she's being taken out of a dark place by listening to what I've just released is such a blessing to me.
Yeah.
It's such a blessing
and
to me.
And she could be a blessing
that.
to more.
And she's going to be such a blessing to someone else and to, a whole nation of people. So release, my sister.
So Sebe, spring out of that darkness. There you go. Maleh, wa re sa hlola re bina Mafung?
Mafung ha o sa binwa ne ke le ho lefu maoba ho bapala speaker.
O so le teng? Ba ne ba tseba re teng?
And we just laid to rest a friend's father of recent, and if it wasn't for a group of some elderly church women, I wonder because it was a very small group.
What
they
do you
sang
think
their
that
hearts
is?
out, and we're like, oh, thank God for these women. We've lost touch a little bit. We are not so necessarily as interested, I guess. Well, Linda Selena about asaying kereking, and thank God I'm back.
Are you back there?
I'm so back.
Maru busy lwana ka piano ne. Ke lona ba rapela modimo ka sekgowa. Thank you.
And I don't know le manyalong. Le manyalong, it's the same thing.
Le bala he wena Maleh mohlang he re tsanga le dili se mo tsere se natla o ka se utlwi.
And it's such a pity.
And ke mmona ke se natla man.
Rona re hotse re kena re tsamaya le baetsana ha ile lenyalo o fihla o le 8-9 o bo sontse o kenywa grouping ya baetsana ho etswa step. Those were the best, and it's so sad to see that kind of tradition.
Bapala speaker.
Let's just hope we have those
Rona ba designer se he jona dust
all the way. Uncle
Mara msabala zona.
Re o tseba hantle.
Siya ya Pitori le Lesotho. Siya ya Pitori.
Yeah, it's quite sad.
You are a mother, right?
Of 2.
How old are they now?
7 and 1.5. I'm
Yes.
right at the beginning of the mothering stage.
Yeah. Oh, you're back there.
With my younger one, yes, a baby boy.
Oh, okay.
And the eldest is a girl.
It's a girl.
Yeah.
How much of that do you bring into your songs?
I think in this particular album, there's one song in particular that I wrote, really inspired by the birth of my son. It's titled "March On."
Okay.
And I think I wrote it because I've always wanted a boy child.
Oh, okay.
And then he's here, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to really guide you and teach you what you need to know to become the man that you're going to become really make mama proud,
Yeah.
And I wrote that song really to encourage young men out there who are hustling and trying to find themselves in this jungle of a world.
Yes, march on.
that you have to march on, and there are no shortcuts to this experience called life. You need to find.
And it's such an appropriate
yourself.
message, especially now, where we find depression is taking our young men, isn't it? That you're saying to them, listen, don't fall on your sword yet. March on.
You have to march on. It's been such a sad season, obviously, with the passing of the late, amazing Ricky Rick. It's been a shock to the nation, honestly. And I think a song like this one really does speak to young men in particular.
Yeah.
I think there's so much pressure on young boys to be the best version of themselves before they've arrived there.
Indota must.
And there's so much need for validation in the world that we live in as well, that I see a lot of young people suffer from, myself included. So it's one of those.
And it's also the world is unkind to girls. And you're raising one.
Yes, I am. I am. You know, one of the themes behind the album is me as a woman just finding myself and just self-empowerment. And I feel like I am, as my daughter now is growing and I'm able to talk to her about being very firm about who she is, you know, don't be apologetic about your bold personality. She's one bold young girl. And I really, with her, a song like Fire Dancer was very much inspired by just the passionate person that she is. And with Fire Dancer specifically, I mean, I was talking about a young girl not necessarily being understood for the dream that she has. And I think that women often experience that, where they believe in something that society says they're not necessarily capable of. And I think that was something that I had to also overcome, releasing this project as an independent artist, you know, registering my own record label, going to Risa to say, I am Maleh, this is my company, it's called Sams Productions, you know. Give me my ISRC codes, I'm going to do this by myself. I think these are the things that women... Yeah, it's so exciting. It's so liberating. And I think specifically Zonke was such an inspiration when it came to that as well. When I heard about her releasing her project independently, I was like, this is the way to go.
And she owns the process from beginning to end.
I love that about her so much. So I think that's really... you know, these are the women that inspire us so much. So for my kids, I think there's a song each for both of them. Yeah, Mama tried.
Mama tried. And for motho go tletseng kerekeng o busy o bua ka di cosmetology mo cosmic love milele ke njwale
ke confusion fela ka boetsala jwa
utla cosmic love milele ke eng
forever.
Oh
yes,
ke bua mang jwale
ke Swahili. I was so blessed to meet a lovely designer by the name of Kathy Wangu, and she is based in Balito.
Okay.
Durban side, and I was there for a show, and we met, and I said to her, you know, I really, with this album, I've always wanted to explore languages that are not my first language, and I've never necessarily written a song that's outside of just in terms of language-wise, outside of South Africa. And she's from Kenya, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to write a song in Swahili. And it really just says the heart's desire, the heart will always go for what it desires.
Yes.
And that's
really... just right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think this is a love song to be released before the album comes out. It was actually the first single that came out before.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Last year, November.
Okay. Hence cosmic love.
And we penned this together, and it says, uwe wangu milele, nikumbali nipige kelele, nikataye nipeki wewe. Wa utlwa monate jwang? Ai, Swahili se monate man.
Whatever. How ka ibina je ke le lifung o ra le kase wa tsoga hore Oh, that's my song.
Oh, yes. It's quite a few people's song.
Baby, please.
Let me be your everything and more. I just want to be with you.
Ay, inkonzo ingaphuma. Singahamba siya ekhaya.
Usho kanje.
Hona ntho tse ding a wa tshwanela di etsa Maleh tla ko bolelle sa le hona tje ngwana.
Okay, ntate
ska ba bina funeraleng ke a kopa.
Le
funteng ska ba le ngwa eqala. Are hey batho ba ka falla. Le ka se le bule re. Ka re ke tsamaile pela nako. O gore ke tswe.
Oh boy.
Ona lo omanyana?
Nna.
Ona lo kwata?
You know, I'm a very gentle soul, but ha ke kwata mo o ka se kgolwe re ke nna.
Voice
I'm telling you.
And
it's very rare though. I really don't allow myself to get to that place where it's beyond return. But I think gentle people habakwata, it's not a good sight to see.
As in their voice will still remain the same. I doubt it though. But would it?
Of course not. There's a lion in me when the lion must come out.
Never.
Yes.
Ah,
The
never.
roaring version of me will come out if it must.
Never.
Especially where my kids are concerned, yeah. Liberty Chavatse.
Yeah.
But really.
Do you believe it? I don't. I don't want her to get mad or upset, but still.
You're not buying it.
No. Every album comes out. Look, for me, more than anything, I'm just excited that it's out.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still active. You're still doing what we love.
Yes, sir.
You made us fall in love with you.
Thank you.
So we can't help but say, hey. So we basically become shareholders. You
Yes,
know what
sir.
I mean?
Absolutely.
And we want to see the Maleh bus, keep moving.
Yeah.
And for that, we are very, very honored and happy about. So obviously, I mean, you said you're open to remix projects. What else after this?
It's
on top of this?
It's an exciting time. I just recently signed with UK Tour Limited, which is an agency based in the UK.
What?
Yeah, so it's very exciting. We are planning
nice.
the first part of a mini tour in June this year.
Oh,
Their
their summer.
Yes.
Their summer. Yeah.
So that's a very exciting.
But you were in
event.
London not so long ago, weren't you?
I was a couple of years ago, and I was there to sing "Falling." Can you imagine?
Just one song.
That particular song.
But did you expose them to something else as well?
No, of course, yeah. We did have one or two other tracks that were house tracks on the previous album. And the response was amazing. I couldn't believe, first of all, that they knew Maleh Loka, by the way. That's what they call me. That's it. Maleh Loka.
Oh, Maleh Loka. Oh, yes.
That was very funny and really great to hear.
Yeah.
Maleh Loka had a great time in London the last time I was there. And now it's going to be really exciting to also curate the music in different kind of venues, not just the clubs. So we'll be doing a couple of pubs, more like laid back spaces. There's a boat cruise we're hoping to also just finalize on. That's going to be really
I know
really
you've been
lovely.
on Leano stage already.
I'm going to be on the Leano stage.
Leano, what a great place, guys. If you don't know this, check them out.
Yes, I'm so looking forward to being on Leano. They've just been supporting live music like crazy.
What a platform.
Yeah,
what a
absolutely.
place. I haven't been, but what I've just saw and have seen on Insta and in their social media pages, oh my goodness, what a place to be.
Yeah, and I think also another exciting collaboration, or rather just signing a new contract with Dream Team.
Okay.
That's the management company that will
Beautiful.
be...
They do amazing work.
Yeah, they're really, really great. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how we unfold the rest of this album and really just produce quality
You're
shows.
surrounded by solid people.
Yeah, the team has grown from the last time.
No, well done. I can see there's nothing like... One thing that really gets my back up about South Africa in how is how we manage talent.
Yeah.
We don't have great talent management here. So
very true.
So when you hear somebody like Maleh Loka saying, I have, I've got Dream Team behind me to do the PR and brand management.
Absolutely.
I've got this team in the UK to do my tours.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't help but say, wow, well done.
Yes,
because it's the support system that makes the
we'll
brand
take it
grow.
to the next level. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I think it's been about 17 years now that I've been in this industry, T Bose. So it's time for me to really travel.
So you started when you were 3. Damn, girl. Jeez.
I started out very young.
Very young. Oh,
yeah.
my word.
Yes, sir. So I just thank God that I'm still in this industry. It's been quite a journey, and I'm very grateful to be across the table from you once again.
I can tell without any shadow of a doubt that you love, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But during these times where love seems to be scarce, what do you say to that girl who feels like, maybe this is it, I'm not going to end up finding love?
What's about? I can definitely say that I was that girl a few years ago after a very painful and disappointing breakup.
Yes.
And you know, the first place I started, Ke kopa o rera, Uncle T.
Amen. Chris, I need a piano here. In fact, the organ for the church. I need it. I need it.
Preach. I need to preach because I found this love.
I'm here for that.
Is with God first and foremost. You need to get to that place where you're able to get on your knees. And I feel like I was at a time in my life where I would overlook that so very much. I overlooked Tapelo so much. And I think
the genesis of it all.
Yes, God, our creator, our maker. You know, and I think my journey with Christ Jesus, firstly, is what brings me here today. Number 2, loving yourself, is such an important thing. And loving yourself really just means accepting who you are, being in that place where you're okay about your flaws and that you're not perfect. And I find that we find, or we think our happiness we will find in someone else. I think once you're in a place where you're actually Uncle T.
Solo dinner, solo lunches.
Eat this dinner and be happy and glad and count your blessings. And then I wrote a letter to God and I said, I need him to be so. I wrote a list.
Nice.
I wrote
the love list.
I said, he is not all of these things. He will be all of these things. And he will receive me in this particular way. And I need him by this date. I think that was just my my story. And I was blessed that by June 20 next year, I was here where I am today. In love, happy, glowing.
Yeah, I get.
Hey, I get ke mofumane, but ke qadile ka tsena tse pedi. I think that's the core
anchor
of it all. Yeah, absolutely.
The design of what love is.
Yes, sir.
The one who knows the lid to your pot.
The one who knows who the other one is for you. Wow. And he has created him or her for you, and you will find them.
But it starts with you knowing where to go for that.
First.
It's on your knees.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. That's one of the verses that I've overlooked all my life. And until I started really applying it to my life.
Preach, girl.
Yes. Hallelujah.
2. It doesn't end there because it's easy to get high in church. Quite easy. It starts with the work, and the work is an internal work.
It's an internal work.
Accept you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. 100%.
Amen. Maleh.
Yes, sir.
Umuntu wethu athi lento yethu.
Yebo baba.
Ra o leboha.
Ke lebile haholo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir. Thank you.